Welcome back.
to Chai Time, episode number 3.
Número 3.
Number 3. Lotha. We are right back to it. How was your week?
Man, it was all right. It's long. I mean, I'm getting ready for a trip, so going up to Europe for a little bit. Got a wedding over there. Got some people to meet. But other than that, I mean, it's been all right, man. You know, work's been cool. Work's been busy, but not really. And yeah, what about you? Work good? Everything good?
Same as it was last week. Still kind of like iffy on everything, and then overall though everything's okay. I've gotten some good amount of time when it comes to figuring out new ways about how to invest in certain stuff. You know? So, but
there you go.
Yeah, it's just a normal week.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. I sent you a video the other day.
You did, and the video consisted of the video was about a woman who was in a athletic like a swim team.
Yeah, college, I think.
College swim team. And what happened was, apparently there has been this transgender woman, a guy basically, because they still got their shit. He has been watching his athletes change in the locker room.
Well, this is what it is. So this girl, there's a swim team, and this guy who has a cock.
Yeah,
he's on the swim team as well.
Transgender,
yeah. He's on the team as well, and so they're forced to change in front of
him. Right.
So they have, and she said, I think it was like 17 times a week, they see this guy's cock.
Yeah.
Because he just pulls out his dick. He has a full-on dick, but claims to be a woman. So,
right. And a lot of those girls are so afraid and so uncomfortable with changing that they go to like guest bathrooms and other places to change. And when they tell administration like, hey, I have a problem with this, their response is, we'll get you a psychology meeting and they'll talk to you. And then when they talk to them, they're like, hey, you're wrong for saying it's wrong for this transgender man to
they're saying they need psychology lessons to get in their brain that it's the right thing and that it's not wrong.
They basically gaslight them.
They gaslight the shit out of them. And the fact that they're allowing women they're literally putting these women in risk of rape. I mean, and a lot of things, and then they have to change in front of a guy with a dick.
It's almost just also like uncomfortable, and like it just unprofessional, like not unprofessional, but like also like it's unprofessional, but also like the discomfort.
It's like I played sports in high school a lot, and like when you're a team, like you're like a family, like you're very comfortable around these people, and then if you're a woman, I'm saying like in a women's sense, and then you have like a dude that just comes on in. Like, what up, ladies?
Yeah.
Time to change in the locker room.
I do feel
12-inch cock comes out. Like, like that. That's insane. I mean, like, I feel for these women. Like,
this person, by the way, if I'm not wrong, is like 6'3".
Yeah, he's like a 6'3", probably like bigger than me.
Right. So he does not look like a woman in any kind of way.
No. Yeah, he probably has like shoulders as broad as Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, And the fact that the sports admin and the school board are like, here's a psychology lesson on why you're wrong, is insane. I mean, this is how they respond, and the women, the feminist women aren't saying anything about it either. Like they're being quiet. They're like, oh no, it's fine. He claims to be a woman, but like you're all about women empowerment, right? And the men are empowering the women, and the women's sports, the women advertising, everything. I mean, like you see this Dylan dude.
Yeah, that's the irony. And you're talking about Dylan from the Bud Light and all that sponsorship.
Yeah, the guy, the man that has taken over all women ad. I mean, he's the face of Ulta, which is a makeup company. A man with a cock.
Yeah.
He he destroyed Bud Light. Bud Light destroyed themselves for having him on. I mean, really, like, who's your target market, Bud Light? Bud Light, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think you're targeting these people?
And they became they were the highest selling beer in the nation, and that one, like public gambit, they ruined it. And go back to feminists. Feminists and basically like women in general, like a good amount of women in general, deserve this. And here's why they deserve it. Back in 2015, I want to say 2014, 15, somewhere around there, this transgender movement started with basically one guy, Bruce Jenner.
No, yeah.
And Bruce Jenner was like one of the biggest people to ever come out like, hey, I'm transgender. It was like the biggest thing in the world. And everybody, if you said anything wrong about it, you were thrown on like a cross. You never were allowed to even.
Yeah.
That was what was going on at the time. For what happened? Women would start criticizing men, especially saying like, "Hey, like, don't go and criticize Bruce Jenner. She's Caitlyn Jenner now. Like, you can't do this." And what did they end up doing? These men are smart. They know how to manipulate things. So they just started to transition to everything women to dominate anything they possibly can.
This man, he was, I think he was like top 300 in the men. He transitioned to women. Number 1. He's the number 1 women's swimmer.
Right. Not a woman.
Yeah.
Not a woman.
Yeah, that's a weird saying that, because I said he is the number 1 women's swimmer. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And people would destroy me for saying that, but I don't give a shit. You guys are stupid.
No, yeah.
Brain dead.
You're all dumb if you think that that's something that is okay, because not only does it take away from the ability of, like, now not only have women become dominated in like
everything,
social norms, they're now being dominated in sports that they're supposed to only be participated in. And whenever someone whenever a woman calls out that, hey, this guy only won because of them being a transgender, they get ridiculed. They get
destroyed. Like that one girl, she was like some blonde chick that lost in a swim meet, I think, to a guy. And she came out saying, like, this is unfair. This is a man I'm going against. And, you know, men are physically more capable than women. I mean, that's just how it goes. It's just how it is. And she came out saying that. And she literally, I think she got like cornered in a school and was getting attacked by these crazy people who don't even know what they're saying. I don't even think they know what they're talking about, by the way.
No, they don't. Most of them don't. They what they do is they just try to think they know what they're talking about, and then when an actual argument comes up,
they just scream.
And they always say the same things. They say, like, "How dare you?" or they say, like, "Don't raise your voice at me." And it's because of the fact that, like, that means that their argument is so
not valid.
Pointless. It's not valid that all you can do is start pointing at emotional things.
Yeah, and going back to like women's sports, I guess, is there even, if this is the road we are taking in the sport world, is there even a reason to have women's sports? Why don't we just all come together? Why doesn't LeBron James go against some, I don't know anyone in the WNBA, because I think the WNBA is a piece of shit, bullshit ass league. Like, it's boring as hell. No one watches it. No one cares for it.
Right.
No one cares about boy girl Brittany Griner. Okay. First of all, that trade Russia just absolutely destroyed us in, because they got one of the most dangerous, like, arms dealer in the world, and we got BG, big guy, boy girl.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about now. That's funny. I won't lie, though. The only thing that I kind of get entertained by is female UFC fighters, because it's so crazy seeing how they hit.
Yeah, they can fade, bro.
Like Chris Cyborg, you know who that is?
Yeah.
She ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
But she's scary when it comes to fighting. Bro, she hasn't won that much recently, but there's another girl. I think she's like Mexican. She's like crazy. What's her name again?
The sexy ass Mexican chick who always be dancing and stuff.
No, I don't know her like that.
Man.
All I know is that she's a Mexican girl who's like beat up every woman that crosses her path. Like, she beat up Chris Cyborg, I think.
I'm gonna have to look. I forget, but there was an MMA fight, and it was a woman against a man because he was a tranny. She beat him.
She beat him?
Bro, she beat him.
Yeah.
And that's like, cheers to her,
yeah.
First of all, because, and that dude, I hope he never steps foot in anything in his life.
Yeah.
But cheers to her. But yeah, is there even a point of having women's sports if this is the way we're going? I mean, like, why not just eliminate it?
No, I think the other way around. I think you just gotta eliminate the whole transgender movement and eliminate the whole transgender. Like that's the main problem. Women can perform whatever they want to perform, and it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it doesn't. It really doesn't matter. But the whole problem is the transgender movement and how they're. You know, you gotta treat transgenders like kids because they are kids. They didn't grow up, so they think it's mature to go and do this shit. What do kids do? They always test boundaries.
Of course, yeah.
Kids, employees, they always do it.
Yeah.
They test boundaries to see what they can get away with. So what are these transgenders doing? Because they still have the mentality of a child, they do what's called testing boundaries with society. How far can I go until someone starts to get pissed off with what I do?
Yeah.
So instead of saying, hey, like, I'm transgender and that's it, it's, can I get infomercials? Can I perform better in opposite sex sports? Can I get away with doing things like getting into a woman or a man's bathroom without, you know, being criticized?
And, you know, that whole thing about the bathroom, right? That brings me to another video I saw. Back home where I used to live in San Diego, there's a city called Santee, and there was a man who went to the bathroom as a woman, had a little mini skirt on, you know, was just being weird, and he pulled his phone out in the middle. Like, imagine, you know, this where the sink is, where you're done pissing and you go to the sink, wash your hands. He pulls his dick out from underneath the skirt and just starts going to town on it in the middle of the bathroom. First of all, why are you in the girl's bathroom when you have a dick? Okay. Second of all, why are you even doing that in the middle of the bathroom? What if like a 12-year-old girl comes in and sees that? And you know the problem is for some reason they want these little kids to see stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why they let them into libraries and schools and read books and they twerk in front of them and everything. And a lot of the times the school or the state will straight up tell you, if you don't allow your kid to transfer, like to do a transition or to like see any of this obscene stuff, we're going to take your kid away, because that's what DCS is like. That's what they have in their policy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a huge issue. Then on top of that, the major problem is that people don't know or realize that, like, it will end up becoming. That's why I think, if I'm not wrong, like when it first started, the NBA had an issue where they denied any stadiums that had neutral gender bathrooms because of the problem of rape.
Well, yeah, because men would go into women's bathroom posing as a woman, and they would just rape girls.
Yeah, and there would be almost no repercussion for it, because like it was like complicated. It's like, well, I'm a man, I'm a woman, it's not. It's like, dude, like,
it's like, shut the hell up. You have a dick, you're not a girl.
Right.
Like, you just want to go away with a pedophile. They want. Like, that's what they are. And then going back to these schools, oh my gosh, I mean, they're insane. Like, if my kid, I don't have a kid, but if I did have a kid, and I found out that they were twerking in front of my kid, I would go in there and I would air it out. That's it. I don't care.
How can they go zibla? I'll just throw them in the garbage.
Said, he threw them in the garbage.
Yeah, like that is what I would end up doing, because it's just like, you just can't, like,
it's not right.
If your child is basically, like, 95% of the time, if your child is gay or transgender, all that shit, it's either a couple things. Number one, they're sexually deviant, meaning that they don't care about actual reproduction. They just want to feel good all the time. That's why if you talk to gay people and transgenders, they're always talking about sex.
Yeah.
That's all they're ever fucking talking about.
Was sex, dirty ass sex.
So there's that. And the other thing is 90% of the time, your child was touched. Yeah. Whether it was by a relative in the family, or it was like a family friend, or even a teacher, they were touched.
Yeah.
And they were touched pretty good. And, like, for example, a lot of women who are lesbian, or who a lot of women who are lesbian try to look a lot like men, because a lot of the times they they want to basically appear as almost like as like hideous as possible, so that the men who molest them will go away. And then they start losing trust in men. So they just completely go away from it, and they start going towards women because they feel like women are safer than men. And that's it. And it's all discretionary. Everybody's situation is different. They always have that argument of like, if a boy is raised by just their mom, they might have a situation where they turn gay. Vice versa. If a girl is only raised by her dad, she'll be like her dad. So she'll like girls like her dad likes girls. So it's like, that's, you know, but everyone has their theories. I personally believe it's just a form of mental illness.
It is.
It's a form of illness.
Used to be. It used to be listed in the, what is it called? Like the CDC as a mental illness. And you know what? You know what's crazy? The last time they did the report or whatever, they forgot to put pedophilia. They forgot to put pedophilia in the CDC. And you know what they're saying too? People are like, oh, calling them pedophiles is not okay. This is offensive. They need to be called MAPS. Minor attracted persons. Bro, I swear, if I knew a pedophile and I knew someone that was touching kids, I would murder that guy. I don't care. Because kids are so innocent. They do not. This is why they need to stay away from the kids. And you know why they go for the kids? Because they can't reproduce themselves. They can't naturally reproduce and make kids and build their community. They have to go and get kids that are already produced from straight people. They're also easily manipulated. Of course, they're easily. It's so easy to tell a kid something and they think it's normal. You know, that's why everyone's different. That's why everyone looks at life differently, because they were raised differently. But now, this ABCD community is just trying to manipulate the kids so they can grow their community. And half of them are probably pedophiles too. They just want to touch the kids. A child is born with no state of mind. They're blind to the ways of mankind. That's a line from a song called "The Message" by Grandmaster Flash. They were like one of the first rap groups to come around. That's what they used to say was, a child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. And you know, they also said things like, only God knows what you're gonna do. You know. It's a couple-minute song. It's worth a listen. It's not just a rap song about, you know, fucking bitches. It's about a song, about a story, about how someone can really screw up their life if you don't want to do the right thing for yourself. And you know that's why it's such a clear like message to show to kids, like, you know, hey, you put something in a child, they're going to be affected by that. You let them go the way that they go. Like, because here's the thing is, like, kids don't get it. You told me a story, I think you told me, like, right after our podcast last week, you told me that there was a teacher in California, or like a counselor, got a girl who was like 13 years old, and she was like, oh, you know, I want to be a man. So let me say the story. So I saw this video of this mom. She was talking in front of, I think it was the city council. And she was explaining that her daughter would dress like a tomboy, and she went up to her counselor saying that, like, hey, I'm seeing all these things about transitioning and all this, you know, tranny stuff, and like my mom is trying to get me away from it. She's not letting me, you know, look into it. She's not letting me do it. So the counselor was like, okay, went behind the mom's back, started the transition, and the little girl killed herself because she fell into deeper depression. She was more confused. She was hurting. Her body hurt. And the mom was pretty much saying, my daughter didn't kill herself. The LGBT community killed her. And I agree with her 100%. I agree with her 100%. And that's why, and they still don't, and people still don't understand that, like, these are kids. They don't even know what outfits to wear to school. Why would they know what gender they are? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting so much. But that's why we don't allow kids to get tattoos, because a tattoo is permanent. And the kid's gonna want some stupid shit on their body. They're gonna grow up and be like, why the hell did I get this? So that's the same concept. I mean, it's not the same concept. It's bigger, but it's just like a good example for it.
Funny thing about parents, like that's how some of them are. Is like, no, don't get a tattoo. You're gonna regret it. But it's like, oh, I want to go to a different gender. Oh, I'll get an appointment ready for you.
Yeah, and it's like
a life-altering decision that is made at an age that you're not mature enough to understand.
Yeah.
Let alone should you even think about doing it. You're born the way you are. Don't ever think that you're like. Because here's the thing, biologically speaking, like scientifically speaking, there are people out there who are born with both genitals.
Yeah.
It happens. And what doctors do is when they get born with both genitals, they like, it sounds crazy, but they ask the parent, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to surgically remove the penis, or would you like this to surgically remove the vagina? It is so rare that to happen. It's like nothing, but it happens.
Yeah.
Those kind of people, it's like,
okay, that's way different, you know.
But you know, it's very, very complicated to even like think about, like, because it's just, you know, how I look at it is there was a line that was said by oh, what's his name? Paul, I think it's his Paul something, Hank Paulson. Hank Paulson was the United States, like, he was basically, like, to make it easy, he was the United States, like, economic affairs. He basically handled 2008.
Yeah.
What he did was he made a line to Congress. He basically was trying to position, like, a couple, like, he wanted to get a couple $1 trillion to try to stop 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah.
So he said it like this: we want to be able to have a blank check because we want the economy and the U.S. financial markets, especially Wall Street, to think that we have a bazooka. And if we have a bazooka and they think we have it, we may not need to use it. So it's like he's basically saying that the capability is there.
Yeah.
We want the capability there, but we're not going to use it just because it's there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people have thought that because mankind now has the capability of manipulating your overall chemical imbalance of your gender, so estrogen and testosterone, that now it is something that you should use just because it's there. Like, it's like telling someone, I know how to make cyanide, therefore I should use it. It doesn't mean just because it's there you should use it. That's the problem, is that people think that because it exists, let's just use it. That's where the issue comes. Because if you may not know, there are people out there who obviously are on steroids.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly men. The reason why they stay on steroids is because, especially men, if you go and you don't do it right, you get off of steroids, your estrogen goes through the roof, and your testosterone goes down to nothing.
You have no testosterone to produce because your body has been getting it from an outside source rather than naturally producing it,
right? Which
destroys your
right. So what ends up happening? You end up having a situation where, like,
you turn to a woman.
You turn to a woman for a little while, and you might not. It might take you years, So I think that honestly, this whole entire movement is ruining a lot of people's, like, comfortability.
Yeah, and I want to kind of go back to bring one more point up about the children. So do you know the streamer Nick Merckx? So he's been around the streaming world for about a decade. He was like a Gears of War pro, and now he went to Call of Duty. He was very big during COVID.
Just to interrupt, he isn't that guy from like Mr. Beast's crew.
No.
Right?
Nick Merckx, he's a Twitch streamer. He was big. He's big in the gaming industry, right?
Okay.
So Call of Duty gave him an operator skin for Warzone. So you can buy his bundle. It was literally a character that looked like him, right? And like it was like kind of based on his like persona and stuff. So he had a character, and he went on Twitter, and I think it was the video. I don't know which video it was, but it was a video about transgenders and with kids. And he tweeted below. He said, "Leave our children alone. Leave the children alone."
I've heard about this.
Yeah, so
and he got ridiculed.
Well, yeah, when that happened, Call of Duty, they removed his skin.
Stuff, yeah.
They removed his skin, and then he was getting like they try to like cancel this guy, right?
Right. But the community fought back, didn't they?
Oh yeah, his community is insane. His community is insane. I think he gained about almost 10,000. I think he got 10,000 subscribers the day he came back to streaming after that whole situation. He took like a week off. He came back, and the first day he got 10,000 subscribers in one stream, which is like insane. So it was definitely like cool to see that, hey, there's people that still have a brain, you know, and it's also cool to see that someone so big with a big platform is willing to like put everything on the line just to say something like that.
Did he get his skin back?
No.
Did Call of Duty?
They didn't say anything about it yet.
Did the community like do anything like boycott or anything like that?
No one really like. And of course, there's gonna be people that play the game, but like,
what did he say?
He's like he's
like on his first stream. Did he just ignore?
He came back and he kind of like just talked about like, yeah, this is what happened. This is what people have been saying, and like everyone in the chat just like, dude, we support you. Like, this is awesome. Like, stay away from the children. This and that. And then you'd have the occasional people that would come in and be like, oh, you hate gay people, and it's like, well, he didn't say that, but like he just wants the children to get away from all this stuff, you know?
Because Blizzard Activision has become pretty liberal in the last 3 years. Ever since 2020, I think the first time I saw them do something kind of like, whoa.
Was it COVID, right?
No, it was George Floyd. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember that? They had the.
Oh man.
It was
the BLM stuff, right?
Yeah, it was. I remember it now. I think it was a week or so after he died, and they took away the screen, the loading screen.
Yeah.
And the loading screen said, like, we don't stand with racism, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And they just made the screen black like a month.
Yeah. And then
you could
have to like acknowledge. Yeah, you'd have to like go in before and acknowledge like that you're like against racism.
Right. Like that Call of Duty stands against racism. Yeah, you have everybody like, have you listened to your voice chat? And insane. they added like liberal flags, so they started adding like the gay flag.
They have a bunch of tranny flags.
Right.
You know, they have like, I think they have like 30 flags of just like
gay shit.
Yeah.
Just things that like we don't even know. I don't even know those flags. The only one I know is the one with the triangle and the colorful, like the rainbow, and then they have like brown, black, or whatever.
What is that one?
It's like the main gay flag.
The Holy Grail?
Yeah, it's the Holy Grail of minorities. That's basically the flag. It's like, this is what represents
minorities.
Us. Yeah, gay, black people, whatever it may be.
Okay.
That flag was made. Okay, the first flag you started seeing was for black people with the red, black, and green, like the African American flag.
Okay.
Then, you know how it is. Like, if you go back in the 60s, there's always been little groups to latch on to larger groups. So, like, for example, in the 60s, it was like the civil rights movement, and feminists found a way to get their attention on that.
Now it's like
it's like gays. So they took the flag that Africans were waving during that for George Floyd, and then they manipulated it and made their own little flag with gay and other colors, just to like represent like, hey, don't forget about us. So they put it on there. And then they put it in the COD after he died. It's like, okay, that really represents George Floyd. Yeah, like that really, because he was a transgender homosexual who got killed.
Did he overdose on fentanyl?
Something like that. That's what I heard. The autopsy showed that he was a lack of oxygen, but everyone's going to say what they want. You have to honestly think about those autopsy specialists.
Yeah.
Like, they're sitting there looking at this body, checking everything, and they're like, dude, if we don't say he died from so oxygen,
dude, there was a freak out, bro.
It's like, oh my god, they're gonna blame us for being white.
Oh my god,
they're gonna flip their shit.
They'll throw him in jail.
It's the same thing that happened with what's his name again? O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
He got away with it because that was a response to Rodney King and all that, and Latasha Harlins, but like they had to have sat there and just been like, dude, just say
you want to go to jail, or Possibly even maybe they were getting paid a little bit to say something else. You know, I mean, who knows about Wayne? Who knows what's happening on that table?
But no, I'm saying like the flag was made after George Floyd had died because the representation was.
So it represents the gays, trannies, and then minorities, like. Because
that's what
I guess we're considered minorities because we're brown, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's like the LGBTQRZ plus community. Like that's what I understand that flag mean. But they have brown, they have all that stuff. So I really don't know what it represents because it just like they change it. It's like every other couple of months something changes where they add a community onto that flag. So they just was like that flag was made to manipulate people to believing like oh well Black Lives Matter, but so do gay people. Yeah, gay people will too. Like that's just how it was. So to me, it's like
say it louder because I guess people don't know, right?
Right. It's just like don't forget about me. I'm important.
Yeah.
Just because even like and it's like you don't even hear about like people. I don't know. People just find a way to jump onto a bandwagon and they want to see if they can represent it by something else. So to me, like the transgender movement, I honestly think will end. I want to say in about 10 years, it won't last.
Damn, that's too long, bro. I can't take it.
Yeah.
I can't take it. It's too long.
Honestly, though, think about it. Like, the backlash.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Americans only. I don't think any other nation in the world has that besides, like, cross-dressers.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, people are laughing at America now because what we're focusing. We're focusing on these gay people because they're crying about, oh, my gosh, she didn't say I'm a zizzer. Bro, like... I don't give a shit if you're a zizzer. Like,
yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah.
I don't know what it is either. I don't even know if it's a thing, okay? All I know is there's some weird one with a Z. But it's like, we care so much about this, and it's like, why don't we care about our damn economy? Who cares about this freaking blue-haired fat piece of shit?
Because there hasn't been, because of there not being a major war in a long period of time, people have so much time to sit and bullshit and complain, so they make stuff up, but... It's just how it goes, but
like to wrap it up, I guess. I mean, we're definitely gonna need part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna need to extend this part because there's a lot more to talk about.
Way more to talk about
because there's just so much the way society is about this.
Yeah, and we'll revert back to kind of what started this conversation was about the locker room.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's wrong, and it's even worse when you don't acknowledge the problem. You just tell a person you're crazy.
Yeah. So. It's not okay, honestly. And honestly, women need to start talking more about this
and stand up against it.
Yeah,
because men who are transgender will not stop.
No,
you let them, give them room, they will take from you. So you guys better put your shit together, pull on your pants, and basically just say we're not standing for this. Vote for the right representative. In your local the right representative in your office to make sure that they block any type of shit that takes away from your femininity. They're really, in my opinion, like women are women, men are men. Women should have the right to enjoy their things and represent their things. There shouldn't be men transitioning to get that.
Yeah, and women need to be protected, honestly. And this is like doing the complete opposite. It's like. This is putting them in so much risk. I mean, like you can walk into a bathroom. You don't know what if there's a transgender or like a man claiming he's a woman in there waiting for you to come in. He locks the door behind you. You think you're gonna be able to escape a man? No, a man will always overpower a woman. I don't care what it is because that's just how it is naturally. Men are naturally stronger than women, and it's like this is not okay. We gotta
do a part 2.
Yeah,
we gotta take on this subject some other time, like when we have a lot more to because there's so much to unpack. Like I said, we have to have a part 2.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean, I guess this is the end of episode 3.
It's episode 3. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
Please comment, like, and subscribe.
Yep.
Follow our pages.
Yeah, socials will be in the description. I'll have stories in the description as well. And yeah, please comment any topics or if any improvements we need. Let us know. Anything you want to add? If there's maybe a person you want to see on this, who knows? Maybe we'll.
Yeah, we can probably add a guest. We got a guest on there. There's a possibility. And comment if you want a certain subject talked about.
Yeah, we talk about everything and anything. We are very open. We don't give a shit what it's about. And yeah, cool.
Thank you guys so much.
Next week.
Peace out.
See ya.